Hey everybody, welcome back to Northern Lion Plays Binding of Isaac Afterbirth. You may hear like a sound in the background. That's because Ruka is next to me in his little mandarin orange box, eating his own fur. He looks like a fucking idiot right now. He's cleaning himself, but he's cleaning himself in like the most laboriously loud fashion that I've ever heard. And if my hand ever gets close to the box, if I dare to place my hand near my own property that I pay for, he tries to bite me, but in a loving way that only barely breaks the skin. K97P1XBV. Scary situation. Anyone want to tell me why? Well, I would say that there's several reasons, and this room adds one more. The several reasons, our DPS didn't look that good, but actually now that I see how quickly we took out those champions, I sort of disagree with my earlier assessment. You know, you just judge a, got a weird frame rate dip there. You just judge your, run, usually when you can't see your stats that well, by the circumference of your tiers, and the circumference of our tiers was not looking that amazing here. But either that's deceptive or via rate of fire, it's actually pretty good. We also, unfortunately, have no idea how much HP we have, so we could have one red heart. And that's the dangerous stuff right there. The jar is not amazing. The ladder, on the first couple of floors, the ladder tends not to be that useful, because you're less likely to find gaps than you are to find rocks that block you from picking up consumables, so I mean, if we have 2 or 3 HP, this is a fairly average start. Maybe even slightly above average based on what seems to be decent DPS. If we have less than that, like if we have 2 spirit hearts, for example, or 1 red heart, 1 spirit heart, I would be nervous, and I feel like rightfully so about the way that this is going right now, but it could be fine. And I don't think there's any benefit to focusing on the positive there, except, you know, to keep your morale high, I suppose, and I don't think there's any benefit to focusing on the negative. The real benefit is just focusing on, you know, treating each room as its own kind of like puzzle box here and then trying not to get hit. I really do feel like our DPS is deceptively good. So I think we've done everything we need to do on this first floor, except kill the boss in order to feel good about ourselves. Spirit hearts would be awesome. That's 1 spirit heart. And we're going to get a second one from fighting Larry Jr. So unless we get hit twice on Larry Jr., we should be good here. We'll grab a spirit heart. Hopefully not have Curse of the Unknown on the next floor. That would be, I don't want to say the kiss of death. You know, that implies that we're doomed. I don't think we would be doomed if we got Curse of the Unknown on the next floor, but I'd be real displeased. Especially because we got, you know, deal with the devil math that we're about to have to do, or at least that we're about to going to want to do. Does that make sense? We're about to going to want to do? Have you ever had a deal that you wanted to deal with the devil so bad that you would do anything? We have 2 HP, 3 spirit hearts. So we weren't, that means we started, we had 1 and 1. So actually, we were in probably a slow... Oh my god. Yeah, I knew we were going to get hit there eventually. Just on the last little bit there, I boxed myself in the corner. But we did start with a pretty not amazing situation as far as our HP goes. So, you know what? I'm going to open it. And I regret it immensely. But, we did start with a pretty bad situation as far as HP goes. And we managed to get ourselves out of it. At least for now. And I guess I'm happy that we did, because if we had taken some damage on some of those early rooms, and I really feel like Champion Eyeless Ooze guy room, or Champion whatever those guys are called that chase you down, that could have been a really, really bad situation. So I'm really lucky and I guess proud that we didn't get hit there. You know, I've had some early floors lately, especially lately, where I've taken stupid damage and kind of handcuffed ourselves and turned what could be fairly comfortable starts into fairly dangerous starts. So the fact that this is not one of those situations when it really could have been is, I guess, a sign of things being in the right direction right now. Little Horn, out of all the bosses that are annoying on the first floor, Little Horn is the least annoying boss, because sometimes he's just going to blow himself up and take off like 30% of his HP. Could get him to do that right now, that would be awesome. He doesn't have to blow himself up. He could also just, you know, go straight into a fire or something like that, or both. Both are also, you know, applicable here. Okay. Mr. Dolly is just okay, but a Tears upgrade is always welcome, and Gimpy is also fine. Obviously, I was hoping for something that maybe buffed up our DPS a little bit, and Mr. Dolly literally does, but, you know, I mean, like, literally is not always a good thing. Like, if, you know, this is literally food. If I said that sentence, and, you know, you're a skilled English speaker, what's the subtext of that sentence? The food tastes like shit. Like, this is literally food, but it's garbage, and I don't want to eat it, and I'd rather be hungry, at least for now, than eat this. As long as there's no biological need to eat in the exact immediacy of this moment. So that is, you know, Mr. Dolly's fine. I don't mean to insult Mr. Dolly, Salvador, or otherwise. I just want something maybe a little bit more over the top. Purity's been showing up on every single run lately, and it's fine. I don't mean to sound like unthankful, by the way, but it really is like it can be huge. Let's put it that way. Let's put it in the kindest possible terms. You should always speak about things and people in the kindest possible terms that are literally true, in my opinion. Especially people, you know? The golden rule. Talk about people the way you wish to talk about yourself. The golden rule is actually treat others as you would treat yourself, but the golden rule is actually, first off, you don't speak about the golden rule. We're going to go to our shop. We're a little bit ahead of schedule, which is a great sign. And our HP is fine. I thought we had 2 lives there for a second, and I was very confused. We don't have 2 lives. We have 2 hearts. I was hoping for maybe red candle. Deep pockets is an item I like to take. It's not particularly amazing, but it's an item I like to take regardless. And I think we'll check for a second secret room and also get 3 cents. And our second secret room contained nothing. One of the first mods I make for Afterbirth Plus, I don't understand this secret room. Maybe, you know, in 10 years, it'll aggregate all the poops you've ever shot in that room, and then that'll be your high score in Isaac. But for now, it's just a room where I'm like, why didn't you just tell me I had nothing? I would have preferred that. 2 spiders. And a deal with the devil teleportation. I think we got, after we went into the curse room, we obviously, you know, got a different purity aura. And I think our purity aura, which is a sentence that I don't even feel comfortable saying in the first place, but I think our purity aura right now, at least until we got hit twice, was tears, which was working out okay. Something about the statement purity aura doesn't feel right. We'll take Krampus's head. Krampus's head is... Oh, we got a speed upgrade now. Krampus's head is a better spacebar item than the jar, especially when we don't have the ability to really use the jar at all because we're not taking red heart damage. That's not bragging, we just got a lot of spirit hearts. If we ever find ourselves in a situation, oh my god, where we are taking red heart damage, we're in a bad spot because that means we're dead. More or less. So just keep Krampus's head, you know, for a room like this. A situation in which, you know, there's enemies you don't really want to deal with. We've got 1 key. And this is probably our secret room. I really feel like, you know, on Isaac, you're either on the track for a win, or you got to get on the track for a win. This is I mean, anytime you divide something into 2 sections, that's pretty much how it goes, I suppose. It's not really a revelatory piece of commentary. Hey, luck up, tears up, not a bad secret room at all, actually. And temperance, maybe we'll try to get a double temperance going on the next floor. That seems sensible. This run is on track for a win right now. Monster Manual, which the game has ruined the ability for me to say manual accurately and correctly, I suppose. I don't really need to do that. You're either on track for a win or you need to get on track for a win. Some of our recent runs have been off track at this point of the game, but they got on track by the end. This one is on track right now. You know, we're on the 3rd floor. We've got a decent amount of HP for now. That can change depending on how things, you know, shake out. Especially because our HP is not a resource in the sense, it's not a renewable resource right now. Let's just leave it at that. Good bomb, though. Secret room we've already found, so it's not going to be adjacent to that item room, unfortunately. What do we need to keep this run on track? I mean, I don't want to complain necessarily, but more DPS upgrades, more damage upgrades in particular, balance it with our tiers a little bit. And then, apart from that, just, you know, if we can get like an HP upgrade once every 2 floors and continue to... that was dumb. Cockiness. If we can continue to get, you know, a deal with the devil once every 2 floors and just keep our HP in equilibrium and improve our DPS at the same time, that's ideal. Speaking of ideal, we are going to have Krampus's head ready for our boss fight here. Consumables, please. I don't think we want to go to our shop. Well, I don't know. We'll consider it. Stop with the bombs, please. I will say I'm really impressed with the Pestilence AI. It never... Oh, right, it's Krampus. It never, or at least only rarely, seems to actually box you in. Which might seem like bad AI. If you were designing like the perfect AI, I suppose you would want it to box you in so you had the chance to do the most damage to the player. But it would feel really unfair if, you know, you just got boxed in on one side of the map. You can't walk out or creep will cause you to take damage. And he just lobs bombs at you inside of that, like, tiny safe spot you created for yourself. That would be something that people would be like, this is unfair. And I think deservedly so. So it might be an easier fix or an easier thing to design than I'm anticipating right now. But I'm, you know, hats off for making it so Pestilence doesn't just, you know, screw you all day, every day. Unless you're into that, which is also fine. I think we want to, especially because we have a little extra time here. I think we want to, well, get Skatole for probably the first time in like 200 runs. I'm going to blow this up. I want to try to get blood bags. IV bag I'm not that interested in, but I feel like trying to get blood bag is very sensible. Because when we play blood banks, we're going to get a chance for Gimpy to help us as well. I don't know what our stat bonus is right now, but I don't really like it. Gimpy will also give us red hearts, of course. And I say of course, like I didn't just forget that Gimpy sometimes gives us red hearts. But we need some extra HP capacity if possible, I think. And, you know, the money's a bonus. IV bag's kind of an interesting one. I think that it is worth taking, but maybe not right now. It's worth taking because of the same reason we played the blood bank. You know, it gives us Gimpy. Little Gish. 2 more spirit hearts. I mean, that's a really good haul. I'm actually really pleased with that. We may take the IV bag to leave this floor, but I have to say, I'd love to see, I don't even think it could happen, but I'd love to see something like Bloody Lust to make that like a little bit more sensible, a little bit more doable. Well, this is a much better room to use Krampus's head on. Certainly feel like a little bit of wasted opportunity using it on a room that is in all likelihood much easier, but that's okay. This is where you show off that you can take damage against enemies for no reason. Now, this is where we show off that we, you know how to use our orbital to some extent. I don't think we really care about Spider Mod, honestly. I've noticed, like, I'm actually not jet-lagged or super tired today. This is the first time in, like, 6 days I haven't been jet-lagged and slept for 14 hours or 4 hours. And that's actually, like, pretty much literally not an exaggeration. It's pretty much literally food. But my voice is still a little wonky. But I promise you, the enthusiasm is there today. I slept well. I woke up. Blizzard had made what I feel are some pretty valuable nerfs to the Hearthstone environment. Which is negative for me as somebody who plays Face Shaman because they're bad at Hearthstone and then just wants, you know, wins despite not having to be skillful. But it's been a good day, you know. It's been good for the economy of that game. And by economy, I mean not economy. The economy of enjoyment. Probably. But I don't know. Maybe people are going to be real disappointed that Rockbiter weapons is 2 mana. It doesn't matter, okay? Come down here. It feels like a waste to use this on the hollow. But we'll take caffeine pill. It gave us amnesia. Which is not horrible, but is slightly annoying. Have we been to our item room? Yes, we got Little Gish. So I think we try to stay ahead of schedule. And that's not going to be possible. I guess I should just say that right now. But let's go grab a lot of money, and I'm hoping we get some Spirit Hearts out of Gimpy here. I think I'm going to stick with IV Bag, honestly, just because It's, I actually think it could be the best option for us. But I wish we, you know, got some HP in the process here. I mean, luck ups are one thing, but I'm kind of looking for something a little on the next level. We'll take Spider Mod, I suppose. And then we'll go. And it would be really good to have, like, a little bit more HP. But I'll tell you what, IV bag for now. And maybe I end up regretting this decision immensely. Yeah, but, like, okay, we're up to 5 cents for the next floor, which we don't need to be at, but... Where's my gimpy spirit hearts? We've gotten like 2 luck upgrades. I want more spirit hearts. Keep in mind, it's not just access to, hey, that's alright, although I'm still pretty fast. It's not just access to, or it's not just being able to, get gimpy payouts that interest me here. It's also, okay, maybe stop that. Bad damage is not acceptable right now. It's not just access to, okay, I've now messed up the sentence 3 times. It's not just getting the freaking pennies, okay? It's also the gimpy payouts. It's also access to mob trap rooms and boss trap rooms. I guess boss trap rooms exclusively. And we can trigger a change in purity as a result of taking damage this way. We will take left hand. Let's become Gup. Okay, you're losing it. There's runs that stay on the track and there's runs that deviate from the track. We're starting to deviate from the track. Not deviated yet. This is what we want. Never take damage again. Look at this rate of fire. Okay, this is amazing now. Sincerely, we basically, like, I don't know how it happened, but we have 2020 now. I guess our rate of fire just got improved so much due to purity that we now have 2020. And now we've lost another spirit heart while talking about the fact that we had 2020. But here comes the guppy items. Here come the warm jets. Brian Eno. We got 2020 back. I don't know. I think I let zaniness get a little bit ahead of me here. We just got to cool it a little bit. You're in a fine situation. You got 4 spirit hearts backing you up. Relatively high deal with the devil chance on this floor, if I remember correctly. Just, you know, slow your jets. I still think we should do this, even though it ruins 2020, or our fake 2020 a little bit. We do it because we want those spirit hearts. Sure, like the damage is also amazing, but I don't want to feel like we can't use the IV bag right now. Luck upgrades would also be valuable. We have a decent chance to get those from the money, from the pennies, I should say. But the gimpy payouts are still the big deal here, if we can make them happen. Oh, there's still this guy. And now he's created a friend. We don't really care. I mean, we do and we don't. Burnt penny's, like, pretty useful with IV bag, but our bomb synergy, it doesn't exist right now. I think we killed the boss with our present setup. Like, we got a good damage upgrade thanks to Aura. Just hold on to that. You know, again, making mistakes is human. The real piss off, okay, we already have Little Gish, so we're gonna get a random item here, but the real piss off, and the real thing that's, you know, somewhat less excusable, is making mistakes and then doubling down on those mistakes because you're embarrassed that you made a mistake. I really believe that in real life, that's, not that this isn't real life, that's another thing I dislike, is like, you know, this isn't my real life, this is just who I am on the internet. I'm in the cyber world, it doesn't count on this human flesh, but, not that I mean, I say that as a man who lives his life in the cyber world. I also live my life like there's no tomorrow, but either way, you know, to make a mistake is human. To double down on that mistake makes you seem like a 6-year-old kid. Yes, okay, goodbye IV bag, because we're going to take Satanic Bible. And this is really just being a smart boy for the first time in my life. We're going to take the item that probably gives us the guaranteed chance of winning. And you know what? We won't be able to control our auras as easily anymore, but what did we really gain out of IV bag? Very little. Ooh, we almost got tagged there. And I mean very little. We pretty much... I think we picked up 1 Spirit Heart thanks to Gimpy's IV bag interaction. We picked up a couple, you know, overall. Sorry, Ruka, just elbowed you there. Take Nightlight. I think we'll take this. We can still get an arcade on the next floor, not that we want one. Got 2 pills. One makes you larger, one is Retrovision. 2 highly amazing pills that I'm very proud of. We are no longer ahead of schedule, and in fact, we pretty much have no chance to stay ahead of schedule. So, I would say, you know, I hope you enjoyed being ahead of schedule while it lasted. Boss rush is very unlikely to happen on this run. And that's fine. Need to revise our splits a little bit, or, you know, maybe what we should do is stop getting, well, first off, maybe what we should stop doing is evaluating boss rushes as such an important part of a run. Cat, what are you doing? Miter's really good. In fact, Miter actually makes Gimpy a lot better. I think by increasing the rate of Spirit Heart drops, because Miter causes some Red Hearts that are dropped to turn into Spirit Hearts. So I think that this actually makes Gimpy much better. I don't know if it can work retroactively. I'm going to assume no. Just, you know, easiest way to get rid of that amnesia pill. We're still in a good spot, though. In fact, we're in a great spot. We got 8 HP. Satanic Bible's good. We got 2 cents for going into that room effectively. And, I mean, apart from that, Satanic Bible's better than good. It's great. Apart from that, we're still kind of suffering DPS, depending on what aura we have. And right now, I mean, you might think that I'm being a little bit complainy about my DPS. And that's probably a common recurrence, but I mean, we're killing Pin pretty slowly, considering how low the HP on this enemy is. Okay, how we dodge that is beyond me. I'll admit that, you know, I'm my own worst enemy sometimes. You know, I'll use an orbital to deal damage in a situation where our tiers probably would be doing like 10% less damage. The orbital just feels stronger. However, I'm just waiting on a single Death's Touch. There we go. There, we got a Death's Touch worthy damage upgrade, it feels like, thanks to Aura here. Whatever. It doesn't matter. In the end, you know, I've become very deterministic about Isaac, which is not to say that I think that, you know, every run with good RNG is a win, every run with bad RNG is a loss. Rather, the way that I've become deterministic about Isaac is if you're putting your mind to playing well, you're probably going to win. If you're not putting your mind to playing well, you're probably going to lose. Or at least you're going to increase your chances of losing. So, I tend to believe in the power of positive thinking, but, you know, I don't believe that when you think you're going to do well at something, the universe warps itself to you playing better. Or warps it, sorry, let me rephrase. Maybe I didn't get as much sleep last night as I thought. I don't think when you know, think positively, the universe changes itself to make your life better. I think, you know, with confidence, you tend to do something better. You tend to perform better at skills. It's just weird, you know, psychological phenomena. It's probably not true for everybody. Some people probably perform better at things when they think they're going to be real shitty at it. I don't know what that says about them. Could be something positive. I have no idea. What is this shiny, lacquered champion? Meet me in the depths. Michael Stipe sang this for REM. I mean, his voice is like 2 octaves higher than mine. So, I mean, his singing voice is 2 octaves higher than mine. I can't act like it's sensible for me to lower my voice to pretend to be Michael Stipe, the lead singer of REM. It just doesn't make sense. It's my favorite Castlevania game as well. Castlevania, REM of Sorrow. Well, we definitely don't need to take a Spirit Heart. We'll just donate some money. Hello, my cats. Pete's cats, goo my cat. Okay, we're gonna stop that. Well, easy enough. Let's work our way back to where we'll expect to find the boss fight. And I hope I don't sound like I'm about to, you know, yawn or anything like that. I'm not bored with this run. I'm just sort of... We got cool items. That was bad. We got cool items. And then the cool items sort of dried up. Like, it's been a little while since we got more cool items. And I'm not saying it's a bad run, but I am saying, hey, shithead, I picked up the left hand. You know, where's my single guppy item at this point? Like, I'm getting exclusively red chests. where's the positive part of getting those red chests that I was implicitly promised in my own head, at least? Because oh, that was horrible. I've seen the writing on the wall, and I know that, you know, I tend to get a little bit more impatient as runs go on. I actually popped paralysis there thinking, you know, why not? Munch that pill out of here. But I know that as time goes on, I'm going to be more and more likely to use my orbital because I'm just going to get frustrated. Now, what I should do as an adult who wants to take personal responsibility is stop using our orbital, recognize this is a harmful pattern that's going to happen here, and nip it in the bud. What I'm going to do, because I'm a man-child, is say, no, the game didn't give me any damage. And as a result, you know, I got no choice but to use my orbital. I'm actually, you know, I'm being like 50-50 on that, but I should stop doing that. But sometimes even when you recognize a harmful pattern, you know, deep inside of your brain, you're like, this is good for me. And I feel like as long as we don't die, in the end, I'll be happy that I use this orbital. Although that'll change when I look at the comments and people go, how does this moron have like 63 wins in a row when he's just running into enemies over and over? Come on, come on. There we go. Well, it does leave us very safe. I will say that despite... Is that another amnesia? Oh, thank God it's Tears Up. Okay. It does leave us in a great spot on this run. The fact that we're still doing strong despite taking a lot of damage we have no business taking. It's very good. I did ask for HP at some points of this run, and it was not granted to us. But I suppose life goes on. I should probably try to stop fucking up my auras. Like, it actually... Oh, that was real bad. It actually is advantageous for us to maybe stick with one. Maybe that's the real benefit of aura. Is trying to curate an aura that is actually good for you, but... I also think that we've gotten 0 damage upgrades over the course of the run. It makes me feel very naked from an Isaac sense when I'm just standing here with like these stupid tears. They got no circumference. They got no circumference. We did get a deal with the devil here. I also have to say, you know what? Let's go for permanent Polaroid invincibility. But I have to say, I'm surprised. Oh my God, there's a tinted rock. Oh, you idiot. I'm very surprised, but also a little offended that they didn't give me, we continue to not get, like, any Spirit Hearts thanks to Gimpy. We're getting some, we're not getting many. We've gotten luck upgrades. Like, where's my Gimpy payouts? For now, I still think we're completely fine. We've got 8 HP. We've got permanent Polaroid invincibility. We've got the occasional bomb, which I am going to try to sneak in there. That one was really good because it not only worked as a bomb, but it also slowed him down. That's what we're looking for. That's not Gimpy. Don't give Gimpy much credit for that. That goes out to the Miter. Mind you, it could be the fact that we got the Red Heart in the first place thanks to Gimpy that eventually turned into the Spirit Heart thanks to the Miter. But don't give Gimpy any credit. Gimpy hasn't earned it yet. Gimpy hasn't earned it yet. Gimpy! Gimpy! I'm gonna stop doing that. One day I'm gonna get evicted. You're gonna joke it's happened to other YouTubers, man. You'll be like, well, he sings all the time. Yeah, so what? Yeah, well, he's really bad. Gimpy! Okay, I see a point. Alright, consider him evicted. I don't know what that voice is. This is like a Brooklyn accent combined with an alien species. Okay. I mean, I like the Spirit Hearts. I did spend more time than I'd like to admit complaining about not having that many Spirit Hearts. Would it kill you to give me a Guppy item? Ooh, there's a Guppy item. Well, we had to take Succubus. That's obvious. I think, hilariously enough, we actually ignore the Gimpy item. Or, not the Gimpy item, the Guppy item. Gimpy! Guppy! No, we ignore the Guppy item. If we get a deal with the devil naturally, and then we're able to get Guppy's Paw when we have more Spirit Hearts, that would be fine. But for now, we have to take Succubus. It's non-negotiable. And if we're taking Succubus, I don't feel comfortable doubling down on that deal with the devil and also taking a guppy item that provides us with no immediate benefit. So, the other way that I'll definitely take it is if I just get a red heart from this boss. Then I'll trade the red heart for, well, I don't know. We'll have to talk about that when it comes, but I still think there's a guppy chance. Even though I probably lowered it by, 25% by not taking that. Because we could still get back in there. We got a lot of red chests coming. You get the idea. 25% is not an exact number. We picked up Small Rock and Succubus on this floor, though. So that is really, even more so, the guppy thing is just a means to an end. It's a means to get us more DPS. We got more DPS thanks to Small Rock and thanks to Succubus. So I'm less immediately concerned about DPS, which I think is extremely positive for this run. Onsus is very good. And in fact, if we can get 2 good runes here, I would be thrilled. Onsus? Yera. That'll do. Onsus. Yera. Okay. Algiz. Hagalaz. Hagalaz is the only not good rune here. So let's take Algiz into the boss fight. And then we'll take Yera, I guess. Yera. Well, you knew that was coming. Don't blame me for that one. Yeah, Yera is better than Onzus Yera, or Onzus, or, you can do the math for yourself there. I don't think we take it. It's exactly the same situation. So, I've probably neutered our own Guppy Dream, and I think it's the right way to handle it. We need 16 keys in order to open all the chests on the chest. But if we make it down, we should be fine. If we make it down to the chest, that is. What's our principal goal here? Well, Curse of the Unknown becomes a lot easier to manage if you just never take damage. So, I'll consider that our number 1 goal. If we can just avoid taking damage, that would be good. Alright. That did not happen. Plan B. Take as much damage as possible. No, that seems like an immature reaction to the situation. I gotta say, though, I'm loving the aura. It's harder to complain about damage when every time you take damage, you have a chance of getting, like, soy milk, but your damage stays the same. But now, like, for the first time on this entire run, let's try to avoid losing this aura. Oh, okay, or just, like, lose it immediately. That's also fine. We almost put together, like, a good run of not taking a lot of damage here. I don't know what happened in the end, but it fell apart. Oh, God. Oh, relax. Relax got me stuck. Is that a sentence that's hip with the kids? Relax got me stuck. Bay caught me slipping. I know that one. Can't keep running away. I know that one as well. I live my... Okay, we know that one. I think that this is gonna sound like it's a stupid thing to ask for. And it is, but I'm gonna say it anyway. I think we need a run that beats our ass. And I'm not saying a run that we lose on, I just mean a run that is really, really tough. Because I feel like I've been allowed to be lazy lately, and it's a natural human response, when you're in a comfortable position, to get a little bit lazy about things, stop doing the little things right. We need to... Oh, that's so bad. For example, that right there. We need to get back to actually playing well if we're gonna have a long streak. Because eventually a run's gonna come along that is just gonna shit on us. So it makes sense to me, although it seems like sort of like backwards, to have a challenging... It's like getting immunized or something. Oh, I know, a hot button issue. You get a little bit of the virus, you inoculate yourself to it, so that when it actually shows up, you've got the antibodies necessary to fight it. I understand everyone's tripping over themselves. Excuse me, Professor, immunization is dead virus. Okay, you got me. The metaphor is not 100% correct. You're still getting a C- in the class. It's not a trump card. It's not like, oh, hey, the officer wrote down my weight as 173 pounds when it was 172. Looks like this speeding ticket doesn't count. The metaphor still applies, okay? We need to inoculate ourselves to a shitty run. We've had enough great runs lately that I think subconsciously my brain's like, Ooh, shit. Don't hate me. Don't hate me. If we get that deal with the devil, I'll be happy with it. I just can't. I can't take the gamble right now. I think we've got 7 hearts, but and if we have 7 hearts, 3 for Incubus is an amazing trade. However, I don't know that we have 7. If we only have 4, then that trade becomes much more dangerous. But anyway, we need to inoculate ourselves to a shitty run. Don't know what our HP's like. We're gonna head up to the cathedral. No Curse of the Unknown, please. We had 9 HP. Well, we had 10. Yeah, so, I mean, this is obvious. We could have taken Incubus. And if that loses me the sale on this run at this point, so be it. I'm making a more conservative approach. I think that much... It's not like it was an edict issued from above, but I've decided to make a more conservative approach lately. I would have taken that deal if we didn't have Curse of the Unknown. But I really... You have to put yourself in my shoes to some extent. I can't be the guy who loses a 63 streak by taking a deal with the devil. Like, I just won't let myself be that guy anymore. The roasting that I would get in the comments would be second to none. I'm used to getting sous vide'd. I'm not used to getting souffled. We don't want left hand anymore. So I'll take the blame for that one, but at the same time, I think it was the right decision. With Curse of the Unknown and not keeping close track of my HP, it was the right decision. Again, might have been doubling down on a mistake. And in this case, the mistake would have been not a mistake, it would have been a good thing. How is this? We're 33 minutes into this video. This cat has been washing itself the whole time. Are you not clean yet? Someone's going to invent like a cat shower cats actually like one day. It's going to change the game. They'll be able to spend 95% of their time sleeping instead of 92%. Well, with 11 HP and 2 Yera runes, I would give us, like, you know, a very high confidence interval of finishing this match. Finishing this, this run, I should say. With a win. You're going to finish any run, but with a win. Golden chest, maybe? No? Spirit heart, also fine, but... We probably threw out a Guppy transformation on this run. How would we have gotten it? Well, I think, you know, if you get... actually, that's not the way Yera works, so... We would have had to take Guppy's paw and then Guppy's tail, so we would have foregone at least Incubus, probably. Could have taken Succubus, but... and then go to this curse room, and then that curse room could have hooked you up. I think I played... Actually, like, far too conservatively on this run, considering we have Gimpy and also Satanic Bible. In hindsight, we could have gotten a little harder on that. But that's, you know, that's a great situation to be in a post-mortem, is to be like, here's what we could have done to win harder. Because it means you got the win in the first place. I thought about getting in there with the orbital, because I'm still not, you know, over the moon with our DPS. And we will get in there with the orbital when we have permanent Polaroid invincibility, but between, you know, multi-dimensional baby, I'm gonna get hit, yeah. Between multi-dimensional baby and Succubus, seems like we should just take advantage of the damage buffs that we can get naturally in our environment. You see, like, I was complaining about DPS, but this is like your Rorschach test for DPS on the Cathedral. If you can't get through one phase of Isaac with just your tears, without him, like, shooting multiple times, is what I mean, in this phase of Isaac. Oh, he still got us. Then your damage is kind of shitty, and our damage is kind of shitty right now. That time we did it, but it was just because Succubus was, like, in the neighborhood. Come on. Okay, well, it's gonna do it. We took 4 hits, though. How's our damage? Seems pretty good. Let's head down. Seems pretty good, seems pretty good, seems good to me. We've got 6 chests. Let's make it 16. Just, like, I took poetic license with the math there. Okay. Technology. Debatable. Harlequin Baby, no reason not to take it. X-Ray Vision, no reason not to take it. Not good, but no reason not to take it. Tractor Beam, it's alright. Can be amazing. Crack the Sky, unlikely. Blood of the Martyr, no reason not to take it. Quad Shot, reasons not to take it, but I like it. Magic Mushroom, take the double damage. Ruin permanent Polaroid invincibility. Holy Mantle's good. Sagittarius for piercing shot, good. The body, I sort of feel like we might as well take. Eve's Mascara, I'm going to ignore. Peeper's Eye, might as well take. Evil Eye can be fun, we'll take that. Anemic does very little for us. Bum Friends, I think I'm not going to take Technology. Oh, our damage is glorious now. We took Technology on a run very recently, and I kind of felt betrayed by it. I complained about DPS, then I picked up Technology, and, I mean, this is obvious in hindsight, but Technology didn't really help. I didn't expect it to like, rule. I just expected it to give us piercing shots, basically. But because we already have piercing shots via, you know, Sagittarius, I think we just go with that. And our damage is really, really good now. I don't think I can take, Eve's Mascara and Quad Shot. Not on the same chest. So if we got lucky, we could, you know, get the aura that gives us a really good rate of fire, and that would be awesome, but playing with fire a little bit here. And we wouldn't want to play with fire with 12 HP and Satanic Bible and Holy Mantle. You know, we don't want... Let's not add any uncertainty into the equation right now. Yeah, we're going to get a win. And I feel like a little bit of a baby back bitch. We probably should have gone for the Guppy Dream. Or at least picked up Incubus, which is a fun item. But it is what it is. We've made our bed, now it's time to lie in it. Oh, the consequences of winning 63 runs in a row. I think it's 63. Either way. Take some dumb damage. Blue Baby's dead. Easy win, easy life. Thanks for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed the episode. If you did, click the like button. Helps out a great deal. Of course, subscribe if you want to see more in the future. For now, thanks for watching, and I will see you next time.